Welcome to Pardon the Penetration. I am Jay,
And I'm T.
and this week
What are we talking about this week?
we're going to talk about burnout.
That was a big topic for you, isn't it?
Yes, I need to get this off my chest right now since it's so fresh.
Oh, okay. You gotta get that hurt out.
I got to get it out, man.
Okay.
Definitely. So last month, as y'all know, I went absent, went missing. I felt like I'm not an emotional person.
Right. You're right. No, you're not.
Yeah, so I'm not an emotional person, but burnout, we're going to talk about burnout in the tech industry, but my burnout really came from taking too much on my plate.
That's a big thing. Like you had school, work,
podcasts, like and work. It became like
don't throw us in there. We get
this
you to
take
laugh
time.
here.
This take time
It
and dedication.
It does, but we keep you laughing. We try and.
Yeah, so you and Justin both sacrifice your time to be here on a weekly basis, unless we genuinely can't.
Right.
But I was just doing so much, and I had to talk to prepare for it. Like everything was just
On your plate at one time.
Yes. So I was just like, I got a sermon for y'all today. We gonna talk about
it. We're going to church.
We going to church. We gonna talk about it. Cause I realized burnout affects a lot of people. I'm always reading like people that disappear for a long time, then they come back and was like they say what's on their chest. Like we need to talk about it.
Yeah, it is. It's something that people don't talk about that much, and then it's after the fact. Oh man, I was burnt out. Like I went through that before, so.
I didn't know what it was until after, and I think it wasn't until I told you, what was really going on, and you sent me that link saying, it's actually a medical condition now.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, was I burnt out? I felt like I was stressed, but I didn't know I was burnt out.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, you didn't tell me anything. I just thought you just plugging away. I thought you just put your head down, like I got focus, I got work, and then of course you were focused on work.
Like you said last episode, man, like what your frat brother said is literally you have to decide, is it grad school, life, or work? Like, right. It was tough, definitely. Even though I had to take a step back from this, had to make some other sacrifices too. Your girl did go on vacation.
That was good. That was like your light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh my gosh. Coming back, I felt brand new. Like
I know
stress free. Like
I saw you on. Like I said, I saw you on IG. You trying to slay on IG.
And we're moving.
No,
okay?
we're not.
And we're walking along. Okay, definitely are. But I don't know who needs to hear this, who needs to see this. But if you need that time, you feeling overwhelmed, if you can, not all of us can just hop and just go take a vacation. But if you can plan one, cool. If you just do a mini staycation, if you're going to the next city, something, take that time where you're just not
plugged in, or you're just not plugged into anything that you have to do.
Pretty much.
You can just have that reset. Like
it was much needed. So I think the ways I'm going to try and combat that now is, even with still being in grad school, is to make sure I dedicate the time to myself.
That's very important.
Yeah. Try to do something at least once a week so I don't feel this way. Yeah. Because it just felt like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think for me, I do that like Wednesdays. I don't have a podcast. I don't have like working out at the gym. So usually Wednesdays, I'll probably just sit on my couch and just zone out. Like that's my time to just zone out. I may look up stuff that I want to look up on online, not really like digging into like your personal life or things like that. Just
okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hop on the train. So Trent has already experienced this. He graduated grad school. He done lived that life, but couldn't warn me.
Like I said, you didn't tell me, and so I'm like, hey, you're like, oh yeah, you told me you're thinking about going to school, but then you came back, you're like, oh well, I'm in school now. How long have you been in school? Like 2 weeks. So you didn't tell me.
No, but them 2 weeks was hardcore. Like they had me write a research paper like the first week.
Yeah, I was writing research paper every week, but like I said, once you find your groove, like I realized my classes, I had discussion posts due Wednesday, and then some of my classes I had papers due Friday. So literally, I do kind of wait till the last minute on things, but I knew I could pound out a 2 to 4 page paper in a couple hours. I'd do that, come home, and then boom.
I literally gave up my Saturdays. Like Saturdays would be my homework days to get stuff done. But let's talk about it. So a survey from Blind. Blind is an app that's used. It's a social media app for like workplaces, but basically employees from different companies can, speak their mind, talk on stuff within their company, blah blah blah.
Without them being put out there on Front Street.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much. I feel like there's a catch to that because you got to use your actual work email to verify who you are,
Did
because they need to know that Trent really works at Microsoft
right.
or wherever.
Did they have a breach or something also?
Previously, they
Okay,
did.
I felt like we
So
talked about it. That's
yeah, so the survey from the Blind app though, it's used by 40K Microsoft employees, 25K Amazon employees, 10,000 Google employees, 7,000 Uber employees, and like 6,000 Facebook employees. And
that's a lot of people.
pretty much. And the one question that the survey had a simple yes or no. It was, are you currently suffering from job burnout? And over 57% of the respondents said yes.
Wow, like that's something like I read that it wasn't in the tech industry, but they're just saying in general that 50% of the workforce feel overworked, they feel burnt out, they feel exhausted when they leave their job.
Pretty much.
It's
So for you, previously it was the job that you had.
yeah, it was one of my previous jobs that I had. I was in a call center environment. I think like call center environments is like a high breeding ground for burnout. Like one, I felt underappreciated. I didn't like being talked to any type of way by customers, and it wasn't like just a regular customer. Like these customers were actually like professionals. Like they were people who went out, they got the extra degrees and everything like that, and I'm just being talked down to. I don't feel appreciated by management, and then I also felt like some of the people they were bringing in weren't up to par to help us get over the workload we have. So then I started being negative at work. I started viewing some of my coworkers in a negative light. Like I came home exhausted, man. Like my mom, to this day, she's like, "Oh, how's work?" I was like, "Oh, it's fine." She's like, "It's boring. You don't have anything to rant about." Like I would literally go home on my drive and rant to my mom every single day, every single day.
All right. So this comes from the Mayo Clinic. Job burnout. How to spot? What questions
What?
you're supposed to ask yourself?
Wait, first, did you know the IDC 11 now they came back and they actually made it a medical condition. Like the World Health Organization, it's that important where they actually was like, this is actually now.
If that's the case, I think I need to go to the doctor. I need to go get a checkup.
Yeah, I mean, bro, they are categorizing everything. Like now, one of the things was video game addiction. So I'm getting ready to cash this check. If y'all don't see me after I get his disability check, that's where I'm at.
We'll be looking for a new co-host.
Exactly.
Video games?
It's a thing. I'm gonna apply for it. I'm getting this check.
Dude, like technically all the little Generation Z, what generation are we even on? The little toddlers. They're so addicted to like phones, tablets
Right.
and stuff. All of them got a disability now.
But even that can be burnt. I even had a burnout from video games. Like it's crazy. No, you can even get a burnout from video games. It sounds ridiculous, but when you're playing the same game over and over again, and you're going through that like this grind that you have to do when it's a certain type of game, after a while you get tired. Like it was literally a cycle. We would grind for 6 months. Then next 2 months, I didn't want to touch the game at all. And it's literally you can, like I said, you can get burnt out with anything.
Okay. Well, I recently watched Black Mirror, so
I don't watch Black Mirror. So.
you should, because now I look at every guy side eye who plays
No,
video games.
don't look at me in that light. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm kidding. I know that's not you, but okay. I can see it definitely. Like the way I was feeling last month, like I had to do my paper, but I had no motivation. Like I
Right.
had nothing. I had this whole week to do it. I waited till that same exact day to try to draft out that paper.
You had to muster up all that energy.
Pretty much, it just got to the point where it's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do nothing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just stare at the paint right now.
Oh yeah.
So, according to the Mayo Clinic, things that you should ask yourself to find out if you are burnt out is, have you become cynical or critical at work?
Whew. Boy, that's a big one.
I'm not gonna lie, reading a lot of this stuff, I'm like,
You start checking yourself.
does
You be
my
like,
job
wait,
make
this
me
is
burnt out? Because I think I'm pretty good here, but maybe.
yeah. You think I'm good? Now I'm fine, but I'm like looking back and thinking to myself when I was going through burnout. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that definitely hit home. Okay, yeah, bro, that one. That one did.
What if you're a cynical person by nature, though? Because I'm like, yeah, I haven't. I don't know. I'm always a critical person. I'm always cynical, so I'm gonna just skip that one.
Okay.
Do you drag yourself to work and have trouble getting started?
Oh yeah, I used to like maximize my my uptime for like actually having to cut on my computer and then having to put in the apps,
You
put
would
everything.
make sure to
Oh, I
shut
would.
down your computer every day
My
before
computer got
leaving.
shut down every day before leaving. It
Oh
got
my
pulled up
gosh.
slowly. I knew which apps to open, which ran slowly. If it was my Outlook and things like that. Like, why are you not ready? Look, man, it's loading. I gotta get prepared. It's 30 calls in queue. Whoa, you don't want me to click ready and not in it. That was definitely how that happened to me.
Oh my gosh. I'm not feeling that now. So
That's good.
thank goodness. But like I said, school just weekend came, like I said, Saturdays normally I carve out that time, but Saturday came, man. I want to sleep in. Like I don't
Hmm.
want to do nothing. Like this is my really only free day. So, all right. The next one is, have you become irritable or impatient with coworkers, customers, or clients?
All the time.
It's just, I think it probably will get to the point where it's like, if you breathe wrong,
Right.
like,
You see them walking down the aisle to ask you a question, and you just look over, you're like, why is they asking me this question right now? Like, you just know, you're like, please just keep walking, just keep walking, just keep walking.
I was doing a group project and I was just like, why are you asking me this question? And it was just like, even though it's my part, like,
It just highly irritated you.
yes, this whole existence of a group project. Doing a group project one is annoying, especially
Yeah.
in grad school. Like, come on, I'm grown.
Oh man, I had that one time, and I was just so burnt out from meetings. I was so burnt out from meetings. I took like 2 days off, like just 2 days off to just unplug. Man, they done wrote the teacher, said I didn't do my part, said it was bad. I was like, it was crazy.
It was our group had pretty good communication. It was just I felt like they were doing the most.
Yeah,
Like, bro, we just had a conference call like yesterday. We didn't work on
exactly.
nothing. What are we talking about?
That's exactly. And don't you hate when there's that one person in the group who tries to take on everything?
Oh, it worked out for me because I didn't want that responsibility,
Okay.
but it was just kind of like they telling their life stories with it. Like at the end of the day, this project got to get turned in. The
Yeah.
teacher don't care what y'all got going on. Okay, so that. Next question is: do you lack energy to be consistently productive? Did you lack energy?
Well, looking up at that call queue and seeing there's like 30 calls left in queue, and I just got off of a 30-minute call, almost an hour call. There was no motivation there, man. No motivation.
All right, this goes back to my Saturdays of like, say I did get up on that Saturday to try to do the work.
Right.
Man, I was on YouTube. I looked at everything else
But your work.
but doing that paper. All right. The next one, did you find it hard to concentrate? That's kind of like the same thing. Like I said, YouTube,
Right.
like everything else but what I was supposed to. Twitter,
Yeah.
like what paper? Do you lack satisfaction from your achievements? I finally got the paper done, and it's like, I got a good grade on it, but I was thinking like I couldn't even focus on it because I had to work on the next
Next
paper.
right.
So I didn't even feel like I accomplished anything. Mind you, turned in my last project today, and I still don't feel like I'm just over here like
You just happy it's off your plate. That's all. Like, it wasn't like,
I don't have to worry about anything for the next like 2 weeks right now.
that's good.
Well, class wise,
Okay.
I still got life
Yeah.
that I got to be,
But that's a
focused
big,
on.
that's a big thing off your plate, though.
Did you have any achievements that you felt like didn't satisfy you at that time?
At that time, I don't think so, because it was just we were so bogged down. It was hard to meet like my metrics. I constantly felt discouraged every single day.
Metrics. Whew.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day
Yes.
about how. Whew.
Do you feel disillusioned about your job?
No, I knew exactly what I was getting into the whole entire time. I knew exactly. I was like, nah, man, this is insane. Like, no.
No. Okay. Um, are you using food, drugs, or alcohol to feel better?
Okay, so me and one of my coworkers, shout out, she was great, but one day we have it'll be a stressful day. It was maybe at least once a week. Sometimes it may be twice. We'll be like, hey, you want to hit up happy hour? And like, yeah, so we just need to
I thought happy hour
unwind.
was a Friday thing.
See, that's to get the popular crowd there, but the thing about happy hours, there's usually happy hour to like 6, 7 if you go at the right time, and we were just right there next to all the restaurants, so you can go hit
Happy
Flint.
hour on a Monday.
You can go hit. You can definitely hit a Fleming's happen hour on a Monday and be fine.
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, am I burnt out that I'm eating? I don't think so. I naturally love food.
Right.
So I never,
So
but
that
if
didn't
I could use
disappoint
it
you.
as an excuse, like, doctor, I'm just eating so much.
You're trying to get that check too.
Trying to get
Trying
that,
to get that check.
trying to
See,
get that little
secure that
FMLA
bag.
right
Yeah.
quick. Yeah, but I'll probably tell you all later, but one of the side effects of burnout is like type 2 diabetes.
Jeez.
Yes. So I'm guessing that's where the food addiction comes. And thinking about it, drugs, I was watching Drugs Inc. and Silicon Valley is like one of the top customers for drugs.
Well, they get paid a lot of money there, and cocaine is a very expensive drug. It's
I
very
didn't say which
expensive.
drug it was.
Probably was cocaine.
Yeah, you gotta be rich to be doing cocaine. But
Yeah, just doing bumps here and there.
that's madness. But and the amount of money they spend on it, you're right. They definitely got enough money
Exactly.
to do it. So there you go. I'm over here eating my life away. Trent's over here doing happy hour. It's 5 o'clock somewhere in his world.
It was literally. I got off at 5. What you want me to tell you?
Did your sleep habits change? I can say in school, it's funny. One of the remedies for burnout is to get rest, but I had such terrible insomnia. Like I spent my time laying in bed telling myself to go to sleep, not look at the phone. So my brain is not being overactive, but like your girl was tired.
No, well, I was tired, but I was ready to go to sleep. I was exhausted, so I was mentally exhausted, so I was ready to go to sleep. And my brain doesn't. When I'm mentally exhausted, it doesn't stay up. It just wants to like just shut
Oh, so
down.
you
And
ain't
shut.
had no problem sleeping.
I have problems sleeping. It's just I would also try and decompress for the day. So I would be playing video games. So I'd probably be up a little bit later trying to decompress and then going to sleep. So I probably sleep like 5 to 6 hours. But it wasn't because like I couldn't sleep. It wasn't that problem.
Man, it got so bad that like so when I tend to not get sleep, I'm pretty good on like 5 hours sleep. If I get 4 hours of sleep, I'm fine.
4. Ooh,
But
jeez.
yeah, I don't know. But it got to the point where since I'm not sleeping really good, my I will tend to get sick. I hardly get sick normally. I probably only get sick once a year. Like my body started to feel drained. So that led to other stuff like I don't want to get out of bed,
Right.
like I'm not feeling good, and thank goodness I had understandable boss. Like I told him, look, man, I ain't really sleeping the last couple of days. I gotta go home.
Right. That's
Like
good.
this was not so thank goodness I already had like vacation already planned out. Like something had to give. Um, the last one. Are you troubled by unexplained headaches, stomach or bowel problems, or other physical ailments?
No, I didn't physically have anything wrong with me.
Okay, I can definitely say, earlier in my work experience, I was so stressed out, I ended up getting like a stomach ulcer.
Jeez.
That's how much I took that thing to the head.
Well, I mean, on top of this, we do speaking about it just in tech. We deal in like a very high pressure environment. Like there's this whole thing. We're always on the defensive just because of how we are. Burnout rate is especially high in our industry. And I was reading something. They did a survey of 408 CISOs
Mm-hmm.
that cover most of the big companies in the U.S. and the U.K. And about 91% of them said that they suffer from moderate to high level of stress. They 60% of them rarely were able to disconnect from their job during the day. And I was reading this lady, she left AT&T during the project and she went to go work for Microsoft as a CISO. And she said in about a week, she was in front of a therapist. She was extremely burnt out. She didn't understand why. She felt like there's something wrong with her. Like she thought she was going crazy. They told her, no, there's not nothing wrong with you. You're burnt out. You're overworked. And, I just seen like last 10, 20 patients have all been CISO. So she was so shocked to realize that in being a CISO, so many of them feel the same way.
I gotta rethink my career path then, if that's the case.
Like, yeah, like that's definitely up there on one of my goals. So
I was like, yeah, that's technically the goal, but I'm not trying to be on the therapist couch after a week.
nah.
And that's like you said, it's a high pressure job. Like if something go wrong, like you might as well just resign. As soon as you got a breach, it's kind of like
it's you.
All right.
But do you know that one of their biggest reasons they said they had burnout?
What was the biggest reason?
It was they felt a lack of engagement from the C-suite, rest of the C-suite, and the board. So that disconnect that we always talk about.
But that's really always what happened. I need a budget. We need this. Soon as something happened, the board knew nothing about this. Like I can understand that.
Yeah. So that was a big area for them.
I can understand that. Possible causes of burnout include lack of control, like not being able to control your schedule. When I first started my first tech job, man, I missed so many holidays at home because I had to work Thanksgiving. I worked Christmas Day one year. Like, it was tough.
Oh, yeah. The first time I missed Thanksgiving since being up here, I was so sad. Like, I couldn't take the day after off. So I couldn't go home. I just had to luckily when I went to the church that I'm at now, it was like for first time visitors, they were giving away like a little bag or whatever for groceries for Thanksgiving. So I like had to whip myself up a Thanksgiving meal.
You shuffled it up.
I shuffled it up.
Thank goodness, somebody invited me over to their house. So I was definitely probably 2 years in a row. I want to say I went to my friend's house for Thanksgiving. So yeah, another possible clause is unclear job expectations. Like if you're not clear about the degree of authority you have or what your supervisor expects from you, things can really kind of be like, you know what, I'm out. Like,
yeah, it was.
I'm over this.
For me, it was bad. Like we were doing everything. We felt like before they separated us out into like teams, we felt like we were just covering all these different areas. One of the worst things was I got moved to a new team, and when I got moved to a new team because we separated based out of like specialties, I didn't have a one-on-one with my supervisor probably for a good 6 to 7 months. And the last time I talked with her was literally the day I was leaving the job, just to tell me that she was proud of me and congratulated me. Didn't have a one-on-one the whole rest of the time. So I have no one. Like I was venting to my old bosses, but they couldn't really do anything because my supervisor wasn't there.
Understandable. Third cause is dysfunctional workplace dynamics. Probably an office bully, or you feel undermined by colleagues.
Oh man, wow, that was big. Like dealing with metrics, that's one of my problems that I have with metrics is you can also have people cheating. So
I'm so glad I never had to deal with any type of metrics, no SLAs.
Metrics
I don't have time for that.
It's terrible. But when you start feeling like, because when other people get burnt out, they may not care. So then their lack of their production goes down.
And so your metrics is looking trash.
So then when it comes to you, now something that should have been notated or something that should have been handled is now a high pressure situation.
Understandable. Okay. The fourth possible cause is extremes of activity. When a job becomes like monotonous or chaotic, you need constant energy to remain focused. Sounds like drugs. Like, dude, I kind of need to just keep going. I can't see that.
No. Like
I can't see that one.
Well, some people pound energy drinks, or some people.
Oh my God, the amount of people intake that drink, Mountain Dew. That stuff is crazy. Between Mountain Dew and Monsters.
Mountain Dew is like gamer fuel, so
that stuff is gross, man. That's like the worst. It's worse than Coke. Coca-Cola, I'm talking about. It's worse than Coca-Cola. Oh my gosh, no.
I haven't drink.
I
Been
never
doing
liked
it
the
a long
taste
time.
of it, but going to tech conferences, like I went to an all day training and they provide us with snacks. They put that Mountain Dew out.
It's
That
gone.
thing was gone like and people were
It's
mad.
it's like a I think it's like a culture thing with tech. It's like it's something that just goes hand in hand with it.
Okay, some things I will just never get into.
That's fine.
Um The fifth possible cause is lack of social support, feeling isolated in your work and personal life.
Oh yeah.
So when I was
Mm-hmm.
going through my burnout last month, I was just like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, my friends don't understand what I'm going through. Like my family doesn't.
Guys, I got the
Oh,
brunt of that. You
Trent
guys
is
don't.
not supporting
Trent's
me.
not supporting me. I'm like, I didn't even know what you were doing. You just now come up. You just say, hey, all I got to do is he's like, oh, I got to focus on some things. I got work to do. I got some school papers to do. But he's like, I just don't have time. So you
So
didn't tell me
I'm
you
a
weren't.
really private person, and I never want to come off like I'm soft. Like, and it's rare. I'm never really emotional. I don't cry
Right.
like that. So it was just like all of it just kind of hit me at once, and I'm like, oh my god, my friends suck.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost lost a couple friends,
Yeah, the
but
podcast was almost over.
it was not. Y'all still held it down.
We did.
So, and both of y'all did come and check on me. So,
Hey, yeah, I checked on you last week. You see, I kept to my promise. Like, this
no, that was
consistent
the
gonna be
first week.
It
We
was.
still in the same. We go see. Keep that same energy.
It will.
We
I
gonna
always keep
see
that
if
same energy.
if you consistently do it.
Who will?
But I can definitely understand feeling isolated.
Yeah.
um, the last cause is work life imbalance. So if your work takes up so much of your time that you don't have time to spend with your family, you feel like you're not doing anything fun, like not taking vacations, not taking
Yes.
time off.
You have to have that time to breathe. Like you have to have something that will reset it. Like even when I would take my little trips with my friends, like that would just give me a little bit more burst of energy.
We see you on your trips, Trent.
Huh?
Like, what? You ever seen the movie 27 Dresses?
No,
Where she was
I
just
have
like,
not seen 27 Dresses.
so it's basically like the chick was just always like a bridesmaid.
And never a bride.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I felt like you were this year. You were always at somebody's wedding. It wasn't your wedding.
That's good.
Anybody can change that, just so you know.
No, I'm fine. Definitely fine. You guys can go ahead and make that decision in your lives at this point. I'm good. I'm fine.
But if like I said before, if you do have the PTO and those people that have unlimited PTO,
Oh
even
man,
though it might be kind of a scam,
I wish I had
we
another pizza.
gon'
You
we
know-
gonna I feel like we say we wish, but
No, I definitely wish. That's definitely 100.
your boss
100%.
watches this
Hey, maybe it'll be an idea for
for him to pitch.
yeah. But I think it's a good idea. Like sometimes you have to wait for the crew.
Some
things come up.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're responsible with your PTO, if you're responsible, with all the stuff that you do during the day and just hard work and get through all that, then you're good with your PTO. Like you won't have that problem with them just like asking you at the end of the year.
Asking you at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Hey man, it came down to some decisions
If
and some budget
they
cuts.
slide it your way before me, let me know how it goes.
Okay, I definitely will.
Because I know, whew, every chance I get, I'm trying to go on a trip. You see how many vacations I went on this year?
I know you didn't tell me about any single one of them, but that's a topic for a different story.
The shade.
Yeah.
All right. And I'd like to add, you don't invite me anywhere local, so how am I gonna take you on vacation?
We're gonna work that out.
Okay. All right. Do you want to know some of the consequences for burnout?
Go.
This is a long list.
All right.
Excessive stress,
Okay.
fatigue,
Yep.
insomnia,
Mhm.
sadness, anger or irritability.
Yes.
Alcohol or substance misuse,
Ooh.
heart disease, and type 2 diabetes.
Like it keeps going further and further down. Like I feel like rambling off that's like those commercials we used to see, those infomercials. If you or your loved one has been affected by mesothelioma, you could be subject to financial compensation. Like
No disrespect to anybody that suffer from mesothelioma. But it's just like, let me hop on this class action lawsuit for burnout now
Oh,
before
yeah.
they just send me that little measly $1 check. Because after they don't tell you, after you get done with those like class action lawsuits, you only get a couple pennies.
Oh,
They got to split that between millions of people.
Oh, I lucked out one time. They actually reimbursed me for it. It was like some employee thing. I got $25. I was like, ooh, this is good. Put this towards gas.
Let me type 2 diabetes.
That's extreme though. That is really extreme.
I need to go get checked out. Last but not least, how to handle burnout. Evaluate your options. Talk to your supervisors. Talk to your boss. Like, you're killing me, Smalls. Help me, please.
Boss, I was tired, boss.
Oh my gosh. Just hopefully you have an understanding boss, but you should definitely be able to communicate. If you got that time, honestly, I personally feel PTO. Me putting a PTO request is a notification to you.
Help me. Help me.
So, yes. The next one is seek support. Talk to your friends.
Yes. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on. Like, we don't, you have to talk to us.
I did good.
You did good. We've been opening those lines of communication a little bit more. Now that we see that, we found out that's really why you were
sinking deeply. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ooh, dark times.
But you're here now.
Amen. So the third one is try a relaxing activity. Go for a walk, breathe in, breathe out, play your favorite mixtape, do yoga, meditate, do all of that good stuff. Try to find anything that relaxes you. Don't go to food because that type 2 diabetes is a little extreme, yeah. So
we don't want anybody going that route.
The fourth one is get some exercise. Get active.
Oh, yeah.
If you exercise, you might as well, you tire yourself out. You don't have to worry about insomnia.
No, you don't. You just legitimately just want to go to sleep right after I worked out.
Pretty much. I hope you take that shower.
I definitely take my shower.
Make sure you take that shower after.
Come on. I'm hygienic.
Not you. This is a PSA to the people. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I've been seeing too many things about
not washing
feet and stuff. So got to be specific these days. Last but not least, get some sleep. Get some mindful sleep. Make sure you try to get them 8 hours. I mean, do you need them 8 hours? Do you need 8 hours of sleep?
If I got 8 hours of sleep, I think I would think that I overslept my clock. Like, I would be so shocked if I had 8 hours of sleep.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, actually, I was really burnt out one time. I got sleep. Like, this is a crazy story. So I got home. It was school. I was burnt out from school, high school. Went to bed. It was Friday, right? So I talked to my grandma. I was like, Grandma, wake me up. It's time for dinner. It's good to go. I'm just going to take a little nap. I'm tired, right? I was like physically exhausted. Wake up. It's nighttime. I walk over. I was like, my mom is sitting there reading the newspaper. I'm talking to my grandma. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to eat. And they start laughing. So I'm like, what? They're like, oh, it's Saturday night. I literally slept 26 hours. You can ask my mom. You can call my mom and ask her. I slept 26 hours. That's how tired I was.
That's how I know you ain't grow up in no Caribbean household. Like, Caribbeans are not. There's no such thing as sleeping in on a Saturday.
My grandma was a nurse, so she would check up on me. So
man,
I was good to go.
It ain't no checkup. They don't care how tired you are, what you're going through. Saturday mornings, you get your butt up and clean the house. Okay, cool. There's no sleeping in no Caribbean household on a Saturday. And I hope, if y'all make it this far, comment below if you ever got to sleep in the Caribbean household.
It's 26 hours.
They're not having that. Especially you ain't got a full-time job.
26 hours.
You ain't sleeping in their house, man.
And also unplug. Like, unplug from the world, unplug from your phone. We got our, we're bringing our BOLBs.
D&D. I keep my phone on ridiculous do not disturb. And I'm not even gonna lie. This to piggyback off what you just said about sleep. Last night I got 8 hours of sleep and it felt so abnormal. Like,
right.
I'd be literally up. So I've been ever since I came back from vacation, I feel like 10 times better. I've been getting stuff done. I feel so productive. I've been getting sleep, but I've been getting so much sleep. I'm up at like 4 a.m.
Oh.
I just be like,
but that's a good time though. We'll talk about that, but that's a good time.
It's a good time, but it's not like I can go to the gym.
You can be more creative with stuff. It just opens your world for a lot of.
I be thinking that, but I'm like, Jay, you really could get these like 2 hours of sleep, bro.
but
So
you can do other productive things that you normally wouldn't have had the time for. But we'll talk about that another time.
I mean, you make time for whatever you want to make time for.
So only so many hours in a day.
Yeah, but it's just it, getting 8 hours of sleep feels so abnormal for my body. My body's just like, okay, girl,
Thank you.
you got enough. You got to wake up now. We need to do something. You sleeping too long.
Yeah.
Um, what was my last thing?
Huh. I think. Do you have any church announcements? Because we haven't had church announcements in a while.
Man, I was going through some of the breaches, and I was just like, a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk. I think I seen that the U.S. border,
Yeah.
Customs and
Yeah.
Border, they had a breach.
So we're going to talk about that
I was
soon.
like, we gonna have to do another news segment because I'm like,
Y'all haven't learned yet.
normally I don't play those little social engineering games on Twitter,
Right.
but I'm like, at this point, what am I really keeping a secret?
You're right.
Nothing.
Not a thing.
But yeah, that's really all I got for this week. If you're feeling burnout, take that time. Like I said, do a staycation, dedicate an hour to yourself, at least a day. Dedicate a day to yourself if you can. Do not disturb. Oh, that's what I was saying. Do not disturb is your best
Right.
friend. If you're job hunting, I don't suggest do not disturb. If you have kids, I don't suggest do not disturb. Um, if you know you just gonna have like a major situation, don't put your phone on do not disturb. I
Yeah.
miss my whole life with my phone on do not disturb all the time. But yeah, utilize, they have apps for that. They have productivity apps. Like, it is all possible. So take care of you. That job ain't worth it, because you know they do say if something happened to you tomorrow, that job posting go
Right.
up
Yeah.
that same exact day.
Yes, it will. They'll say, "Oh, that's so sad." Well, now we got Phil's role, her role.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So definitely make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and hopefully you work for an organization that values you and wants you to take care of
Right.
yourself too. Love yourself.
Yes.
Hopefully y'all stop eating checkers like I recommended.
Those fries, though.
I know that leading to some sort of diabetes, high blood pressure, or something. That grease, definitely high blood
Not good
pressure.
for you. But I did read something about there are actually some volunteer spots had opened up for 2 coding summer camps or cybersecurity camps at USF. One was Code Breakers, so it's like Code Breakers, but they put an HER, yes, for hers. And it was also Cyber Camp. So it looked like that they were looking for some volunteers. It is focused on helping the next generation of, well, Code Breakers is looking for helping the next generation of high school girls with interest. And Cyber Camp is going to be in Ybor. So they're looking for
Definitely. So, if you
volunteers.
are in the Tampa area, Tampa St. Pete, what's the Tri County? Tampa St. Pete, Clearwater area, and you feel like volunteering your time, definitely check that out.
Yeah. Inspire the next generation.
Definitely, and the perks are.
It's pretty good. I wish I would have saw, because if we registered through one of the school groups, they were actually going. If you did both volunteer, you would actually have your flight, hotel, and booking paid for DEF CON. Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm hurt.
I'm hurt too. I didn't get one of those awesome WISP emails, but definitely shout out to the women that did get their opportunity.
I definitely saw it on my Twitter. I was like, look at y'all, and I was like, man, kind of wish
They
I was
really
there.
out, especially when it's people you interact with. Like, yes.
Yeah, I was sitting up there like, man, I wish I was there, so I just cheer y'all on. So, but I'm gonna try to do a big conference next year.
Well, I will be there. Come and check out my talk at the Dining Initiative.
Oh, you got to talk.
Here you go.
You got to vlog it. Please tell me you
Here
don't
you
vlog
go.
it.
I don't know. Vlogging in Vegas is hard, and then I be trying to do the talks and stuff, so it's kind of hard to keep up.
Okay.
But Diana Initiative actually does not do any recordings or pictures at their talks at their conference. So,
Okay.
don't know if I can make that happen, but if you are in Vegas, I would love to meet you, and definitely congrats to all the women in security privacy that won a DEF CON scholarship. But it's not too late. If you didn't get an email, don't be disappointed. I definitely believe, I think I saw that the organization did say it's like a staggered thing. So if those that can't make it in the original women, they had over 600 women apply. and they were only able to, I think, send about 90
Wow.
women. So that's tough, but that definitely should send a high alert out there that women want to go to these things. And I know it sucks for men, especially men from underrepresented groups, because they don't have anything. But hopefully, next year they'll develop something. But definitely a good opportunity. And companies, we shouldn't have to wait for no scholarship.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother story. But that's all I got.
That's all I have.
I'm Jay,
I'm T.
and this has been Part in the Penetration.